What's up, motherfuckers? It's question time. It's question time. It's motherfucking question time. Shitty wizard. First question.
Do fish get thirsty?
Alright, so do fish get thirsty? Yes. But they drink seawater through their... Well, they take in seawater through their gills. And they have a special mechanism for excreting the extra salt. So they take in seawater, excrete the salt, and the actual water absorbs into their system. And yes, so they do get thirsty and have to drink.
What's the difference between a novel and a book?
So a book is just... Okay, so a novel can be a book. All novels are books, but not all books are novels. So basically a novel is a story, whereas a book can just be anything with pages, and it's held together like, a couple of pieces of paper stapled. That's a book, but it's not a novel. So a novel is a story in a book, and a book is just everything that has pages stapled together. It opens like that.
Why doesn't glue stick to the inside of the bottle?
Okay, so glue doesn't stick to the inside of the bottle because the inside of the bottle is airtight. So basically what happens is when you squirt the glue out, it mixes with air and sets. So the glue inside the bottle hasn't got air with it, which doesn't make it set. So that's the answer to your question, because there's no air inside the bottle, or very little air. So after a long period of time, the whole thing might go hard, because there's a little bit of air getting into it, but over a short term it'll be fine.
How do you write 0 in Roman numerals?
Okay, so there is no numeral for 0 in the Roman numerals. The idea of 0 does exist, but they don't have a symbol for, they don't have a numeral for it. That's about as best as I can find. I think there's a thing called nulla or something like that in their language, but they don't actually have an actual 0.
Do penguins have knees?
So you may not know it or not, but penguins actually do have knees. What happens though is the bottom half of their body is sort of covered in fat and skin and feathers. If you lifted that up, they'd have like little legs with little knees on the ends. So they do have knees, you just can't see them.
Why are both of SpongeBob's parents round like sea sponges while he is square?
Genetic mutation. He is the first of his line of the square genetic mutation. Or maybe it's a recessive gene or something. Just because both of SpongeBob's parents are round doesn't necessarily mean they're going to have a round child. Like, you have two couples that have brown hair. One has brown hair, one has blonde hair. The kids come with red hair. One has brown hair, one has brown hair. The other one comes with blonde. It's just the way the genes want to fucking run that time. Like, you may have a couple of recessive genes sitting in your fucking fucking helix. So when you're born, when you're getting created inside the womb and shit, these genes may become apparent, and for any number of reasons.
Does a 2-humped camel store more water, travel further than a 1-humped camel?
Yes. So you've basically got, I forget the name for a two-humped camel, but you've got a dromedary and another type of camel. They're both camels, but they're different types of camels. The dromedary has 1 hump, and I would assume it only has about half as much water. But yeah, they do carry fat and water inside this, where they can access. But so the 2-humped camel is obviously a better camel, and I think they have different hooves for the different types of environments, because I think 2-humped camels sometimes live in a frigid environment as well, of Siberia, not only the desert. So yeah.
If the Wicked Witch of the West melts in water, how did she ever bathe?
So the Wicked Witch of the West. So in the Wicked book, apparently she bathes in oils. She bathes in oils because she's allergic to water, so she bathes in natural mineral oils or whatever. So yeah, that explains it. She doesn't bathe in water, but she does bathe. Alphaba.
Is it that when you are sleeping it's called drool, but when you are awake it's called spit?
So this is based on activity. If you're actively removing saliva from your mouth by spitting, It's spitting. If you're just lying there and it's just fucking draining out, it's called drool. So it depends if you're actively removing it or you're just inactively letting it drain out as drool. Like I do when I sleep, I fucking drool. It sucks, man. You ever had drool in the beard? It's fucked. You gotta fucking dry it off, have a shower, and wash all your beard off. It's fucked.
If marbles are not made of marble, why are they called marbles?
Well, a long time ago, marbles were made out of marble. So that's where the name marble comes from. Marbles were made out of marbles at one point.
Is it legal to name your kid Anonymous?
Yes, apparently so it is legal to name your kid Anonymous, at least in America. I'm not sure about Australia, but America, apparently it's definitely legal to name your kid Anonymous. You just can't name them trademark things like McDonald's or Microsoft. Apparently you can name them shit happy cunt, but you can't name them Microsoft. So yeah.
What happens if you take NoDoz and wash it down with NyQuil?
You get a stomachache and you start to feel fucking a little bit funny, you get sweats, and like you might be a little bit jittery for a while. You know, like you feel like you got enough energy, then you sort of feel it's weird. It's weird. Don't do it.
When something fades in the sunlight, where did the colors go?
Okay, so basically the sunlight's radiation is breaking down the structure of the color pigment and changing that color, and it usually looks like it's bleaching out. But that's what happens. The sunlight comes down, breaks down the cell structure of the pigment, and changes it to a lighter color, usually a more bleached out looking color. Is what we call bleached out because that's what it does.
Why do grocery stores buy so many checkout line registers if they only keep 3 or 4 open?
This is to make you think that they're providing a greater service than they actually are. I spoke to a couple of people in regards to this, actually work in this industry, and they say they have 7 checkouts, and I asked them how often they get open, and they say never. Once or twice I've almost had to open all 7, but to be honest, if they've got 7 checkouts, they should have 7. They should have all 7 open, or just not have them there. That's my feelings. So anyway, that's all the questions we have fucking for today. I've got a bunch more. I'm not going to do any more today though. It'd stretch out a bit much. But yeah, those are the questions. Have a little bit of think about that. If you have anything you'd like to add to any of them, like they're only very surface level fucking. I've only surface level looked at them. Like there's probably other deeper structures and some of these information that I'm missing out. If you know something that I've blatantly missed out and it's causing the fucking whole thing to be wrong, let me know and I'll redo it. So anyway, thanks for fucking coming along to Question Time with Shitty Wizard. See you next time.
Oh, thank you, tasty little man creature.